2, 3, 4.
Run up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about the new changes, federal laws about cars and gas mileage. On March 31st, the Trump administration gutted 2021 to 2026 gas mileage ratings rules that they had. Now the most reported item is that they're lowering the increase of gas mileage. They're changing it from 39 miles a gallon that it was supposed to reach in 2026 to 33.2 miles per gallon. So they're making the target a lot lower. They're calling it SAFE. Everything has to have an acronym these days. Safer, Affordable Fuel Efficiency Rules. Now Trump also said that California couldn't have their own stricter emissions. But of course, as soon as he did that, California and some other states are suing the administration. As you can well imagine, we have probably the worst combination of things going on here. Politicians, government bureaucracies, and we have lawyers. It's sort of like the worst three combinations you could possibly come up with. And you know this stuff's going to be in the courts for years. Who knows? Maybe it'll end up as the Supreme Court. There's a second part of this change in the law that most people aren't talking about. They say they're not to extend the multipliers of tax credits for people getting electric vehicles, plug-in vehicles. When it expires, 2021, they're saying they're not going to re-up it. Now, the Chinese had a big incentive for electric vehicles, and they didn't re-up theirs. They got rid of it, so they don't have it there anymore either. Now, this really affects California because four of the automakers, Volkswagen, Ford, Honda, and BMW, already have a deal in California that they're getting these credits. They were supposed to get a 2 times credit for electric vehicles in California all the way through 2024. So these automakers are building these vehicles with that 2 times credit in mind, which is going to really change their marketing, their costs. As usual, when lawyers and politicians and government bureaucracies get involved, everything's up in the air now. And when we really get into the complexity of things, not only the building, the driving, the buying, sometimes there's not true logic in this. That rule is still extending till 2024. Credits that the electric vehicles have 0 pollution grams per mile. They're not including the pollution of whoever's generating that electricity. A lot of power is made with coal-fired plants. They put out a lot of pollution. That's what's going into those things. So, it's really, you look at it overall, kind of absurd. Well, does this count? Does that count? Is that really pollution? Is that pollution? You could probably argue them for the next 1,000 years. Let's get down to the real world where we live, where we drive cars and buy gasoline. How does that affect things? How does it affect us? In the real world, not the ivory tower lawyer, politician, bureaucrats. Cars are going to cost less. It's going to be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a car less. Because as time goes on, it costs more and more and more to get smaller and smaller gas increase. Here's a perfect example behind me. It gets about 23 miles a gallon in a city and 31 miles a gallon on a highway. Being a 1994, it's got a lot older technology. It does have an overhead cam engine, but it has normal fuel injectors, not GDI. It has no turbochargers, and it's got a pretty simple 4-speed automatic transmission. Now let's see what happens with this Toyota Matrix. That is 13 years after the 2007. As you can see, it's more complex. It has variable valve timing. It doesn't have a distributor. It's got computer-controlled ignition coils. It's a much more sophisticated vehicle. It has a mass airflow sensor, where the old Celica just had a map sensor. These are more accurate. And this thing gets about 30 miles a gallon in a city and 36 on a highway. So it gets 7 miles a gallon better gas mileage in town. They both have 1.8 liter engines. They both have automatic transmissions. So in those years, there was a reasonable amount of gas mileage increasing. But you're going to find the more sophisticated the cars become, the harder it is to get better gas mileage by using new technology. Take a 2019 Toyota Corolla with a 1.8 liter engine, rated at a whopping 1 mile a gallon better than the 2007 Matrix in the city, 1 mile a gallon better at the highway. And those 12 years from 2007 to 2019, hardly anything got that much better. So squeezing better gas mileage out of the later model cars is getting harder and harder and costs more and more money Plus, when you take in consideration the gigantic high level of technology, more than a double-edged sword. Yes, it costs tons more money to make, and consequently, it costs tons more money to fix when the things do break down. The newer cars breaking earlier than the old ones did. You get gasoline direct injection, 1,000-something PSI pressure, turbocharging, ramming air into the engine, strains the engine more. Smaller engines, yeah, they get better gas mileage, but they have to rev higher to go faster, so they wear out faster. Basically, you're paying more and more money for less and less increases in gas mileage for cars that aren't going to last as long and wear out faster, and in the in-between, cost a lot more money to repair. Basically, you have lawyers, politicians making laws about things they really don't understand themselves. As I said, these arguments could go on ad infinitum, just go on forever, because there's arguments on both sides. As I say, we live in the real world. We have to deal with the consequences of this legislation. Understand that gas mileage can only go so far, and then you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars for tiny little incremental increases. It doesn't go with the flow of our society. People are popular SUVs. They love SUVs. They're all over the place. Well, SUVs get worse gas mileage. They're big, they're heavy, they're not aerodynamic. Same thing with all-wheel drive. In internal combustion engines, of course, it's less efficient. You get worse gas mileage. Now, strangely enough, in electric cars, it's kind of the opposite. If you have motors on all four wheels, they're actually more efficient and they use less electricity. It's a completely different setup there. But with gasoline or diesel powered engines, internal combustion engines, if you go from 2 to 4-wheel drive, you lose quite a bit of efficiency there and you're going to get worse gas mileage. But people say, oh, I got to have it, I live in the snow, or oh, I like the control and that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have big, giant family vehicles that everybody fits in and get great gas mileage in a vehicle that's going to last a long time. A perfect example of that is a Chevy pickup truck. They decided the other year to put a 4-cylinder engine in it. Of course, the gas mileage ratings are higher. But a big truck with a small 4-cylinder engine, guess what? It's not going to hold up over time. The hilarious thing is, these ratings are all done on machines and stuff, not in the real world. You take that 4-cylinder pickup truck and you load it up and try pulling stuff. Gas mileage is going to go right down the toilet. That's an empty vehicle on a dynamometer. It has nothing to do with what the vehicle's actually used for in the real world. In the real world, you have to understand physics. Yeah, physics. You might think, what does that have to do with cars? Well, it has a lot to do with cars. You're not going to be able to break the laws of physics. You make a big, heavy vehicle, it's never going to get fantastic gas mileage. You make a little, tiny vehicle, it's always going to ride kind of crappy compared to a big one, because the smaller the wheelbase, the more bumpy it's going to be. That's just how things are. You want a really fast car, if you drive it really fast, you're going to get crappy gas mileage. I can drive a car and get 28 miles a gallon on the highway with a reasonable sized car like a Crown Vic. I could also drive that same car like a maniac and get 8 miles a gallon. It's going to use more energy to get it going. And the legislators can make all the laws in the world they want. But if these laws don't follow the laws of physics, guess what? They're just going to be a joke. People want to drive around in big, giant SUVs. They're going to get bad gas mileage. It doesn't matter. They're going to be more inefficient. Even if they make electric ones, if you had a smaller car that was electric, it's going to use a lot less power. You want a car that gets good gas mileage? Get a smaller one. That's just how it goes, you know? Be fooled by this technology of, oh, I'll get a 4-cylinder engine in my big truck. Gasoline direct injection. Because guess what? That baby's gonna fall apart before its time. If people want to change the whole base of transportation, that's another story entirely. But don't attempt to nitpick the internal combustion engine to death. Crazy rules by people who don't even understand what's going on. One side says one thing, one side says another, and as usual, where does the truth lie? Somewhere in the middle. And being a middle-class American myself, from a middle-class family, the right and the left, each side is living in an ivory tower, trying to control everything, when reality is somewhere in the middle, where neither of those people have ever or probably will ever live. And since this is Mechanic Monday, I'm going to give away one of these Viair air compressors made out of steel. You keep your air pressure right, you're going to get better gas mileage. And to have a chance to win, place a clean, non-offensive comment on the YouTube comments below, and a winner will be chosen randomly by computer to get a real air compressor that connects to your car's battery. Not the stupid cigarette lighter. Your battery can keep your tires up anywhere. I throw mine in the trunk. if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.